Please don't misunderstand me, and this I am saying for the benefit of the entire audience. It is my perception that there should not be a contradiction between human security and the traditional concept of security. It is because the state ignored the individual that a new discipline came up that says focuses on individual. The fact is that theoretically the state was formed after individuals contracted to form the state. So individuals were always the first brick of the state that came up. It is in the process that state forgot that individual exists, that a new approach has come. That apart, your specific question on border, and I'm glad that you asked this question because this is a question which really haunts us. India is a country with vibrant democracy, tolerance, non-violence. These are the essential values which still govern the country despite everything, corruption, mismanagement, which are part of a growing economy in most of the places. Now, in our border area, I will tell you, what is it that drives the refugees in? And they need not be refugees as per defined UN definition, In India's northeast, for instance, you have people who cross the road during the daytime, come and work here, and in the evening go back. They are not even migrants, they are not even refugees, and yet they are not Indians. And whom are they putting pressure on? Indian citizens, because they are catching the jobs which otherwise Indians would have got it. Now, do you think it is a state responsibility to protect the Indian citizens? And if the state does not protect, who will protect individual responsibility? My explanation to you is, when individual comes into conflict with individual, the state has to intervene. There is no contradiction even in border refugee problem. How do states, for example, the push factor from Bangladesh is poor economic condition or devastation. Sometimes they're really bad on the disasters, economic management. So what happens is, sometimes out of the disasters, sometimes because India offers better job opportunities, you find an inflow of migrants. And therefore, which creates a problem, not only for the individuals, because it attacks the job market, these people also become ultimately part of the insurgency that is growing because you get money by foreign agents. So individual liberty, that is, individual security gets linked to the state security. And when an explosion takes place, it is the individual that dies. But an individual is a citizen of the state, So even in case of when you have border area migration, you have these kind of problems. There are UNHCR problems. For instance, Nepal-Bhutan case, you have Bhutanese who pushed out the Nepalese because they were cutting on the Bhutanese job. But at the same time, these were the Bhutanese which had come when Bhutan did not have the labor force. So what do? So they are just stuck between two states, and the UNHCR intervened, and what it did was it divided the family. Two parents, the father and the son would go to Nepal, the daughter and the mother would. It was such indiscriminate solution that it was practically not a solution at all, So these problems in border areas arise unless states bilaterally resolve the issue, or Global Convention on Refugees come into existence, not only into existence, by ratification also. Otherwise, unless states develop on their own that people are not pushed out, unless states develop on their own that even in conflict situations people are not pushed to the boundaries across, this problem will remain. I would like to make a clarification. Every refugee is not a terrorist, but they are the potential grounds because the compulsions are such and the money that they get, so their involvement in the insurgency is very much there. They have a nexus with Pakistan, they get funded by Pakistan, they get trained by Pakistan, and our northeast is in turmoil. And one of the reasons is that the insurgency is externally funded. And how do we deal with it? The state has a problem. When you have people coming in, and these are what I would say, a very nice word for it, and these are perils of democracy. In a democracy, it is very difficult to push out the refugees. In a democracy, it is very difficult to take stringent measures by the state. And this particular problem gets complicated because ethnically they are same as us, as Indians. They come and they change their name, they start putting bindi, and partly the state is also responsible. The political parties give them recognition because they are vote banks of tomorrow. And as a this is an extremely complicated problem in which it becomes very difficult to push them out, you know. A very, very roughshod figure for the state of Delhi was 10 million 10 years ago. So you can imagine how many Bangladeshis are there. In an economy which is growing, which is robust, but which is growing, in a state which is developing, you know, extra pressures from state on job, on economy, create very, very serious problem, you know. Plus, you know, for instance, Ukraine doesn't have an Islamic problem of the kind that the Syrians are facing. But when you have influx of people of particular identity, you could face problems tomorrow, you know. And I don't know how democratic Ukraine emerges tomorrow, but if it emerges anything along the lines of Indians, it will be very difficult to push them out.